Invincible. This episode, they did a lot. There was a lot going on. I was looking for more than they gave me, but it was good. Mark is up, and Adam, he's had time to heal. It's taken almost 2 months, but he has healed. Oliver and Nolan have had an opportunity during those 2 months to get a little bit closer. It's his dad, so he's right there stuck with him with nobody else to talk to. His dad's feeding him. So, yeah, they eventually talk. Oliver is also getting stronger. Nolan is teaching him how to fight, and he apparently was not very good at it, because Nolan was able to defeat him with one hand and not with like a half smirk on his face. He wasn't even really trying. But eventually, within just a few months, he was strong enough to hit Nolan in the face when Nolan was trying not to be hit, and also to hit him hard enough to bloody his nose. So he's getting stronger. The coalition is having problems because a lot of the planets in the coalition are asking if it's worth it. They're like, we were under Viltrumite rule, but they had stopped killing us once they took over the planet, and that was it. They're probably coming in there for some Barry White music and some lovey-dovey type stuff, but they weren't killing anybody, and that's important. But now that we're revolting, yeah, they're killing us. And, it makes you wonder. It's bad when a nation takes over another nation. Viltrumites were conquering other planets and stuff and making them a part of their empire. But if someone outside the Viltrumite empire attacked one of those planets, you were probably going to get a Viltrumite show up, which is basically a Kryptonian. Somebody with Superman's powers were going to show up. That's part of our empire. And they were going to do that. They were going to protect them, but they were also going to protect them, but they were also going to keep them under their wing and in their clutches, I guess. But you were safe once you had given up, which is bad. Yes. But when they decided that they didn't want to be under their rule, then they started getting killed. And I'm wondering, okay, it's bad. They show up, they knuckle up, they beat the planet down, they force them to be part of their coalition. After that, what are they doing that was bad, that made them say, we'll throw our lives away in order to get up under this rule? They don't really explain that. Being conquered sucks. But after being conquered, if you're treated almost like equals, and they take care of you, they feed you, they protect you, and they let you go about your business. They don't come down there and say, these are the rules and these are our commandments, you got to follow them. Or are they? They never actually say that. They just say, oh, we've been conquered by the Viltrumites. There's only 50 of them, and they've got more than 50 planets. So once they conquer you, they probably leave and go someplace else. So I'm thinking, what is making them risk hundreds or thousands of their people to get from under the rule of the Viltrumites? What are they doing after you're conquered? They're feeding you. It's not like Thanos. Thanos wanted to change the universe and to help it by killing half the universe. That's terrible. He should pay for those crimes. But the Viltrumites conquer your planet, and then they're feeding you and helping you, and like Nolan said, they're bringing medicine, advanced medicines and stuff like that. Your descendants may be part Viltrumite, so they'll have Superman's powers. I don't understand why I mean, you don't want to be conquered. Again, you don't want to be conquered, you don't want to be ruled. Nobody would want that. But once it happened, and you're after that, you're only getting if an army of 100 men came to your house, 100 men, just your house, no one could protect you, and they forced their way into your house, and they told you that you had to live under their protection, and you tried to fight them, and they gave you a beating, and then you figured there's 100 of them. I can't beat these guys. And then they brought you food and medicine and advanced science. And if anyone messed with you, they protected you. That initial strike was terrible, and you might live the whole of your life wanting revenge for that moment. But if afterwards everything they did was in your benefit, would you risk your life and the life of your loved ones to make them stop protecting you? There has to be, my point is there has to be more. The Viltrumites had to have been doing something else besides just, helping people after they conquered them. Because now they're slaughtering them. You didn't want the food, you didn't want the medicine, you didn't want the protection. You attacked those 100 men that attacked your house. 100 to 1. And now you and your family are catching a beating, and you're losing loved ones. I don't understand how it's worth it to do that, but they're doing it. And it also turns out somebody else didn't understand that either, because there's a mole, and the mole was like, look, they're gonna conquer this part of space. There's no way to stop them, because they've given me an idea what their plan is, and there's no way we're going to survive it, so I'm helping them. So it's like that movie, that Blade movie, where the guy said the vampires are going to win, and I'd rather be a pet than a victim. That's what this guy was thinking. And I don't want to be a pet or a victim, personally. I'd have to fight those 100 men. But they don't explain everything. They're missing some points. There are some plot holes that don't make sense to me. But anyway, they find the mole, and apparently these particular people, you could shoot them point blank in the head and blow a hole through their skull, and they will still be like, let me explain what happened. And I was thinking to myself, dude, you got a hole in your head. But maybe that's not where they keep their vital organs at. Maybe getting a hole punctured through them. I mean, they're aliens. All of them are aliens. Maybe that's how their body works. I don't know. It was interesting. They had a couple good fights and everything. I can see where a line is being drawn between Alan and the coalition. Alan the alien. There's a line being drawn because their leader says something. There's a big slaughter, and he pretty much says, we got over it, let's keep fighting. And Alan is furious because he doesn't think it's worth it. He thinks that they should pay more attention to what just happened. A bunch of people were killed, but it's a war with a bunch of Superman type dudes that have conquered other planets and are bringing the soldiers from other planets here to fight you. It's you pick that instead of just sitting down and having your breakfast and having them bring their advanced technology to you and protect you. You said, yeah, let's fight them. What? They're fighting back. So Alan, there's a definite rift between them. Battle Beast shows up, which is cool. I dig that. But he had just about nothing to do. So I'm thinking there's going to be more of him in an upcoming episode, because there was not more of him in this episode. I enjoyed this episode, and I got a feeling that one of the villains that they think is gone is coming back. Because just like Mark was healing, so was that guy. So I think they're going to have another round with him. Conquest. So I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite episode, and I think it lagged a little bit, but they had to get some information out. They had to tell you what was going on so things make sense later. So I get that. But I would give this episode, not the season, this episode of Invincible 7 bags of popcorn. 7 bags of popcorn. Because that's what I think about that. More importantly, what do you think about that? Next you had a chance to look at the video, just talk about it some more in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.